What up, AOK Mafia? It's your boy Artofkickz, and just like that, we back with another one. Alright, y'all, so I don't know what this is. I do not know what this is. This is a video somebody requested to me. Dr. Phil roasts this girl, then she actually does this. What does she do? What does she do? And why is Dr. Phil out here roasting folks, man? See, I haven't watched the Dr. Phil show in a very, very long time. Since, what's the girl name? Danielle Bregoli. Yeah, I haven't seen it since then. And heck, even when I saw that, that was on the internet. But anyway, we about to check this out. Y'all boys girls ready? I'm ready. Let's go.
Begin with some of Dr. Phil's most interesting moments. Reality shows are usually filled with a lot of...
What was that? What is this man? Did he pour something on her? No, he poured something on the floor. I thought he poured something on her feet. Like, girl, you need some toe sanitizer because your feet stink.
Are usually filled with a lot of unexpected scenarios and, of course, melodrama.
There's got to be a different way to go about this. And if you are ever going to be together...
Our video today presents you with the top 5 Dr. Phil roasts. So you'll be seeing some of Dr. Phil's most savage insults.
Because my life, that's all I knew, Dr. Phil. I mean, that's all I know.
Or at least as savage as a guy like Dr. Phil can be. After seeing some of these no-chill moments, be
that hair.
Sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. But before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content.
Alright.
With that being said, let's get started. Number 5. Dr. Phil abruptly ends an interview. This girl has a lot of issues that put her in a very embarrassing situation on air. Bailey...
I was about to say something, but I ain't gonna say it.
Claimed that she was in a relationship with a woman named Jasmine whom she met on Twitter. Bailey was totally convinced that Jasmine knew her very well, but this was clearly not the case. Dr. Phil showed some text messages between her and Jasmine that indicated that Jasmine never knew Bailey.
He says, I don't know you. What don't you...
They never met in real life, nor did they talk or text each other. Bailey thought that they were in a relationship when they started subtweeting each other's tweets. Bailey thought that everything Jasmine did on social media had something to do with her. Bailey even...
Oh my God. The level of delusion. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Did y'all hear that? Do I need to take it back? I'm speechless. I don't know what to say about that. That's not very often do I not have something to say about something. What?
What don't you...
They never met in real life, nor did they talk or text each other. Bailey thought that they were in a relationship when they started subtweeting each other's tweets. Bailey thought that everything Jasmine did on social media had something to do with her. Bailey...
That's some simp stuff. That's stuff that simps do. Yeah. I think that's happened to me a couple of times before when I used to have these stalkerish girls that used to like me like extra hard. It almost as if they thought that I was in a relationship with them, and I was like, no, get away from me. I don't know you. Oh man, I knew him, but you know, it was in grade school or whatever. But I'm like, no, bye. I don't know.
Even had Jasmine's photo as her header, which understandably freaked Jasmine out. When Dr. Phil showed Bailey the conversation, she was embarrassed and then said, perhaps...
I gotta read this convo, y'all. I'm sorry. I gotta read this. Why am I your header? Why am I not yours? Is her response. Because I don't know you. She responds back, yes, you do. She says, no, I don't. Oh, full tank of gas and $100. I'm coming for you. Parents don't know. I'm ready for you, baby. Jasmine's like, what are you talking about? What's her name? Bailey. Bailey's like, I'm coming to city. Whatever. Got too wild. If you want to see me, I'll be in town. I don't know you. is Jasmine's response. What don't you understand about that? This is crazy. Woo.
She was embarrassed and then said perhaps the problem was that she did not understand that when Jasmine told her that she did not know her, she should have stopped bothering her. When Jasmine joined the interview, Bailey seemed to have a change of heart and even apologized, even though she believed that they were both in a relationship. The saddest part was when she was interviewed all alone with Dr. Phil.
You can all laugh at me, it's
Well,
fine.
you know what? I think we're just going to shut this down because
Where he told her that she and Jasmine never had a physical relationship, and she started telling the audience that she, quote, would be their spectacle. You can laugh at me, it's fine. She said all this while holding back tears. Dr. Phil saw that as Bailey playing the victim and ridiculing the audience to gain their sympathy. Dr. Phil said that he wanted no part in that and would not want to present this on his show, and so he asked her to leave the stage. We suggest checking out the full episode for yourself to get the full story, as it's a very interesting episode.
I feel like that's real. I feel like she really felt that way. That's insane. He told her to, hey, y'all, look, don't, audience, y'all try to ridicule this girl. Look, I don't want that. Go ahead, lady. You can go ahead and leave the stage because I don't want that to happen to you. Dang. What do you call that? Is there some type of mental illness? Is she just delusional? Oh, I don't understand. That's beyond me. That is beyond me.
Number 4. A guy thinks being famous is more important than getting an education. This guy's mother wanted to pay money for her son to go to college, but he refused. He did not want to continue his education, and he thought it was worthless and not useful. He'd rather sit at home and watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. He also said that he wanted to become famous and have his own show like Dr. Phil.
I think Danielle Bregoli was the only one that actually benefited off of being on a Dr. Phil show and becoming famous. Usually people like him, this young man here that gets on the show, wants to be famous and maybe could see coming on the show as a benefit to his potential stardom as a good thing. Nah. It usually backfires in your face. You need to obtain your fame and success without Dr. Phil. Do it on your own. Danielle Bregoli got lucky. She even says it. She's like, I got lucky. Wasn't supposed to happen. A lot of people feel it shouldn't happen. Shouldn't have happened. What has she been up to lately, though? I haven't heard from her since quarantine.
He also referred to the fact that he always watched Dr. Phil and took notes to learn from him.
And in fact, I am honestly learning every day, and I am growing.
So Dr. Phil couldn't just sit there and watch.
You saw that? His mama knew he was bull. He was BS, and she's like, this boy over here lying. He don't be paying Dr. Phil no attention like that. Talking about he studied and learned from Dr. Phil. He'll lie. He's trying to get famous off this show. She's like, I done messed up. Look, this is the face of a woman that's trying to figure out where she went wrong. Poor thing. I feel for you. She's like, dang, I tried to do my best. I got some money. I'm trying to send this boy off to college, but he don't want to go. You know how many kids will freaking bend over backwards if they had the funds to go to college? Ungrateful, unappreciative little brat.
So Dr. Phil couldn't just sit there and watch the guy brag about himself. A lot of young people wish they could afford to go to university, whereas this guy saw university as an abominable place that he would rather not go to. Dr. Phil understands that college may not be for everyone, and even said it was fine that he didn't want to go to college.
Right.
But this meant that as long as he would stay in his mother's house, he had to take part in paying the bills, paying the rent, doing chores, so on and so forth. The audience agreed, and they applauded Dr. Phil's advice. It seemed like it was the only way to teach this spoiled kid a lesson. He shut the guy down with his words of wisdom. It was pretty funny when the guy was trying to persuade Dr. Phil that he was learning every day, and that he did a lot of things at home that proved he was trying to help. The guy wanted Dr. Phil to ask his mother about some of the things that he would do to help around the house.
you're not pulling your own weight. If you want to be famous in your head or in the world.
And Dr. Phil shut him down completely, saying that he was the host of his show, and he had already known everything from his mother. It left the guy speechless, for sure. Number 3.
Got it.
Wannabe YouTuber goes on Dr. Phil. This girl
Oh, yeah, I remember her too, Miss Wannabe YouTuber.
might have taken it too far.
Hey, she might need to watch that video that I just uploaded. Mr. Beast talking about how to have some success on YouTube.
This girl might have taken it too far. She wanted to appear on Dr. Phil, and she bluntly said that she had no respect for her mother and called her by her first name, Kimber. So before we even get into the episode, she gives off an awful first impression. It's quite obvious that the girl just wanted to become famous. She seems like quite a daddy's girl, and even thought that her father was an idiot for marrying her mother.
Cause I think this is funny, like I'm not even that big of an issue. The issue is sitting right there.
Why?
She said that her mother ruined her life because she called her a few names. She dropped out of school to be a skater girl and become a YouTube star. She claimed to need her mother to get out of her life. She acts so unbelievably rude. And you know what's worse? She's only 16. She talked to her mother very inappropriately in front of Dr. Phil and an entire audience. She called her mother a psychopath and wished her mother went away and never came back.
Professional thing to do.
What's that mean they're not in your bubble?
She even told Dr. Phil himself that he was doing the easiest thing ever, which is hosting a TV show, and that it's not that hard. Then she told him, "Do not try to roast me," and he replied that he wasn't even trying to. It was very clear that this girl just wanted attention and thought this was the best way to get it. She was acting very disrespectful and downright disgusting. Her grotesque display and utter lack of respect for those around her makes me want to go give my mom a hug and tell her I love her right now. In fact, I think I'm gonna go do that. Number 2. Tough talking teen.
Yeah. Oh, look who it is. Danielle Bregoli. But yeah, that girl had no respect. You're not going to go far, young lady, with the attitude. Heck, Danielle had to learn. She had to learn. Now her and her mama got a better relationship. It might not be perfect, but it's definitely better than it was on here.
Danielle. You might remember this girl, Danielle, who was 13 years old and was a frequent guest on Dr. Phil. Her mother claims that her daughter, Danielle, was ungovernable and out of control. They both would hit each other so often that even the police would get involved. The mother called her many names and tried to put her under control and fix her attitude, but her daughter just wasn't having it. This girl admitted she stole her mom's credit cards and her car. Dr. Phil poked a little fun at Danielle's accent. She asked her if she even made it to the 5th grade, which was admittedly pretty funny. In the first episode that Barbara, Danielle's mother, appeared on Dr. Phil, she claimed that she wanted to stop parenting her daughter who was insanely out of control. The mother said that the girl was all mouth. Later on, Danielle was put through a program called Turnabout Ranch, where she would get a special kind of treatment to help fix her attitude. The next time she appeared on the show, she talked with Dr. Phil about this program. Shane Young, admissions director of the Turnabout Ranch program, told Dr. Phil that she showed huge change in her attitude, and she made tons of progress. Dr. Phil asked Danielle about what she wanted to do when she grew up, and she said she wanted to be a nurse. She also said that people bombarded her on Instagram with many direct messages about her speaking voice. Dr. Phil told Danielle that the episode made her famous, and she replied saying that Dr. Phil was nothing before she showed up in his show. She literally said, quote,
Well, I guess what's good for you is I made you just like how Oprah made you. You were nothing before I came on this show.
It left the audience.
I don't see it. Look, when I was young, I wasn't talking back or speaking badly or inappropriately to no adults, grown folks. I respect the grown folks. But this child here, I don't see how she fixed her mouth to say those words. Boy, I would have got slapped from here to Tuesday. And it's only Saturday. Let my mom hear me talking like that to somebody grown. Shh. See, that's the problem right there. These kids nowadays, they don't get their little butt spanked like we used to. Parents scared to now. They might go to jail for touching their own child that they birth and they raise. All right, okay. The future. Let's see what we got in store.
In disbelief, but everyone couldn't help but laugh. Her mother interfered and reminded Danielle that it was Dr. Phil who helped her through her problems. But then off she goes, stating that only Dr. Phil's money helped, but he did not do anything himself. She owed gratitude to the Turnabout Ranch program only. Then she was forced to thank Dr. Phil, which she reluctantly did. I guess that Turnabout Ranch program really did help her turn about 360 degrees. So yeah, we might have cheated a bit with this entry since it was a guest that roasted Dr. Phil and not the other way around. Number 1. Dr. Phil embarrasses spoiled rich girl. Here we have another bratty woman who is disrespectful to her mother in front of Dr. Phil and the audience. The craziest thing is that the audience would clap whenever she said something rude. However, as we've seen, this is not the first time that the audience encourages such an attitude. Anyway, this girl used a bunch of credit cards in her mother's name and spent over $24,000.
17 credit cards, and you said you just throw the bills away when they come in?
Yeah.
She genuinely did not believe that she was at fault and that she did nothing wrong. Because, you know, what's a couple $24K between family members, right?
Somebody need to teach this child the value of $1 by making them work for it. Hey, parents, I'm going to tell you this. This is from experience. I was a spoiled brat. Spoiled brat. I got everything I wanted before I even have to ask for it. It would be a thought in my head, and next thing I know, it was in my possession. That's how spoiled I was. It was bad. It was real bad. And guess what? I didn't appreciate a damn thing. Not one. Don't do it. Don't spoil your kids. Make them earn everything they get. If they want it, they have to earn it. It will allow them to appreciate it more. Trust me. I'm going to practice the exact same thing with my kids because I want them to have a different upbringing and a better outcome a lot sooner than the one I had to create for myself. I had to learn the hard way. They're going to learn the harder way through work and effort. They want the PlayStation, they got to put in PlayStation money. That PlayStation work. They $500. Shit. You ain't get it for free.
Dr. Phil asked her why she would do such a thing, and she replied saying simply, because I can. Seriously? She said she shoved a fish sandwich in her mother's mouth and threw a slice of pizza at her mother's face. She acted very proud of that, and it left her mother in tears on the show. Now that's not a funny visual. She acts very materialistic, bratty, and with total disregard for others. Dr. Phil slips in a little mini roast here when she said, well, she should have ate faster. That's when Dr. Phil asks her, did you sell your 5th grade grammar book? The crowd laughed and clapped along as usual, but this is only the beginning. She was angry that her mother bought her an old-fashioned car, calling it ugly. As if that wasn't enough, she also sold...
Oh my God. Her mom bought her a car. I remember for the longest, when I wanted a car, people used to ask me what I wanted. I became someone who was grateful and appreciative after we hit on hard times in my household. After we hit on hard times, I became grateful and appreciative. Learned the hard way. Like I told you guys, when they asked me if I wanted a car or what kind of car I wanted, I said, hey, I just want something that has 4 wheels, 4 doors, and a motor, and can get me from point A to point B. No matter what it is, no matter how cheap it costs, as long as it drives. Heck, you see the car I got now? It's older than my first car. It's 4 years older than my first car. The car I'm driving now is a 1999. But guess what? It got 4 doors. It got a motor. It got 4 wheels. It's reliable. Gets me from wherever I need to go to wherever I'm trying to go. My homegirl Jessica was telling me today, she was like, hey, whenever you post a vlog and people see your videos, they see your car, people are always going in about your car. I was like, oh, I've never seen those comments. I've not seen those comments not once. I don't care. I love that car. I'm gonna buy another car next year. I'm gonna buy a newer car. It probably won't be a new car, but it'll be a newer car. And only because I got an $800 repair that needs to be done on this one that I'm not trying to do. It's just, nah, I'm not. Well, It's not that necessary. I mean, they said if it gets worse. Anyway.
Her mother's sentimental earrings, which she inherited from her mother and her grandmother. Wow. I think calling her selfish might be too kind.
That girl, did she pawn her mom earrings that she got from her grandmother or mother?
Her sentimental earrings.
I can't know.
Roast here when she said, well, she should have ate faster. That's when Dr. Phil asks her, did you sell your 5th grade grammar book? The crowd laughed and clapped along as usual, but this is only the beginning. She was angry that her mother bought her an old-fashioned car, calling it ugly. As if that wasn't enough, she also sold her mother's sentimental earrings, which she inherited from her mother and her grandmother. Wow. I think calling her selfish might be too kind.
That was 3-4 generations that thing was being passed down, and this little brat sold it.
But here is where we
I would have cut her off. I would have cut my own child off. You did that.
Get to the good stuff. Dr. Phil prepared a check of $24,000 and asked her what she would do if she was given the check. She said that she would go to school, but nobody was buying it. That's when this beautifully cathartic moment was sent through the airwaves. Dr. Phil proceeds to tear up the check and told her that it was never going to happen. And that's what makes this moment #1 on this list. It was quite a relief to see someone with that level of sheer ego be brought down a peg or two. After hearing about these moments, tell us in the comments section below. What do you think about these roasts on Dr. Phil's show?
Yes, definitely comment. What do y'all think about these? Oh my God, these kids. And weren't they all female too? All little young, bratty little figure teenage girls. I'd be ashamed of themselves. But you gotta look at home though. You gotta look at home. What's going on at home? That's where they being brought up, raised, and taught wrong from right. What the parents doing? What they not doing? What they saying? What they not saying? What they allowing? What they not allowing? They're at fault. They're most certainly at fault to some degree. They might not be 100% the issue, but they're definitely 90% the issue. You feel me? Y'all know what time it is, though. If you like this reaction, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more. As always, the link to the video is going to be down in the description box below. If you haven't already, make sure you follow your boy on the ground, man. Twitter, @Artofkickz. I'll catch y'all in the next one.